Hello Beaver fans, it's Mike here of Mike's Videos of Beavers. Today's video is all about ChewBarka. All of these clips were filmed on Wednesday night of this week. When I got to the river, I got there a little later than usual. ChewBarka was already finishing up a meal next to the rocks, and no sooner had I started the video that he started swimming downstream. So of course I packed up and went to follow. When I caught up with him, he was carrying this long stick, just like a tightrope walker. Some of you may have seen this clip as I shared it independently, but don't worry, the rest of the video is all new material. So after he marked that rock, I thought he was heading back upstream, and I was standing on the bank waiting for him to pass when he surprised me and suddenly came right up to the bank where I was standing. I love the way he just sort of saunters out of the water here like he owns the place. But then he scooped up a little bit of reeds and sticks and made another little scent mark just right here on the edge of the water right in front of me. So that was a nice bonus. I wasn't expecting that. And if you're not grossed out by such things, you probably got a good look there of his castoreum spraying out of his cloaca as he turned to go back to the river. If you missed it, just rewind and you can get a good look. So then I caught back up with him on the rocks right near where I had first encountered him, and he was heading up to get some more dinner. As I've mentioned many times before, I just love watching them maneuver their way around the rocks. They aren't designed for it, but they get where they have to go. So he was sneaking down a path at the top of the rocks, and I got in position to film him as he sauntered down the path. The one thing I love about ChewBarka is if I move slowly and quietly, he really isn't particularly panicked about my presence. So he's looking for something to eat. He chewed a few leaves, then he smells this plant and that plant. Neither of them appealed to him, so he kept going. And I don't know my plants very well, but there was a big patch of this purple flowering stuff, and ChewBarka definitely liked that because he spent the next 15 minutes basically sitting in this plant and chewing from left to right wherever his heart desired. And I spent the next 15 minutes trying to get a half-decent shot. I started standing on a big rock near him and looking down. I stayed there for quite a while, but it was hard to get very many shots because he was mostly covered up. I moved one rock closer, and that was for a few seconds a decent view, but then I got the bright idea to sneak below him and try to get videos basically from the same level or just below, and that actually worked out pretty good. Again, it depended on what he was eating and where, but I'll share with you some of the decent clips I was able to get where his face was visible, and when I'm not talking, you can sometimes hear him chewing away. I really enjoy this next clip. As you can see, he turned almost right towards the rock I was standing on, and even though there was some dead reeds or something kind of half blocking his face, as he moved around, I got some really good looks of his teeth and his face as he's chewing and his fingers. Here I'm just a little bit lower than I was before, and yeah, it was kind of a fun angle. And again, I have no doubt that he knew I was there only a few feet away, but ChewBarka knows I'm not a threat, so he just kept going about his business. And of course, what goes up must come down. When I notice him start to fill his mouth with some longer branches, I know he's about to head back to the river to eat. So I scrambled down to the near the bottom of the rocks so I could get a good view of him working his way down. Again, I just love watching them go rock by rock, foot by foot, trying to find their way carefully and safely down back to the water. You can see it's not really a natural skill for them, but they certainly make it work. And there he slides into the water. And when it's wavy like this, he usually looks for a little nook where he gets a little bit of protection and also to keep the food from floating away. And here he pulls in behind this big rock to sit and eat. And as you can imagine, it's going to take him a good 20 minutes to eat all of that. So I just got in position and watched him eat. And I just quickly pulled back the camera so you could see where I was. This is probably 15 or 20 minutes later. ChewBarka is almost done eating. This little beaver pulled up to see if ChewBarka would share, and he did. They don't always share their food, but I'm assuming he was getting pretty full by this point because, as you can see, very little of all of those branches he brought down are still there. And the little one's pulling in to get a little more, and right about this time, ChewBarka decided he was done, and he starts heading straight across the river because he has to mark the territory on the east bank as well. And that ended my awesome evening with ChewBarka. Cheers.